Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. Let's get started. We saw some pretty heavy thunderstorms this evening here on the South Hill, but it wasn't the only place that saw strong downpours. And take a look at this time lapse that we took over downtown Spokane tonight. You can see the clouds roll through with some rain in patches as the sun continued to set earlier tonight. Let's get outside to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo, who's going to tell us if we can expect more rain tonight and into tomorrow. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, for most of us, the rain is now done, but it's those temperatures still hovering on the cool side. For now, 47 degrees. It's about where we should stop if things were normal this evening. That's not the case. We are going to continue to cool down after these showers exit the region, and you can see a bulk of that activity remains a little bit farther down to the south. A little bit of activity up near Newport, but all in all, we're watching that convection wind down as our little shortwave exits the region. Heavy rain starting to wind down as well. To me, the rain was the biggie here out of this system. And as that moves out, we've got drier weather working its way in the days to come. Stick around though, I'm going to walk you through how much rain we saw because it is quite impressive. But for now, things start drying out and we start seeing a few more clouds filter in as the day moves on tomorrow. But keep in mind, a lot of this cloud cover going to be higher in the atmosphere. So at times it does wind up a bit cloudy, but for the most part, a pretty mild day in store tomorrow as temperatures climb from the low 40s to the mid 60s by the afternoon for us in Spokane. Similar story across North Idaho, out in central Washington. Well, you're back in the 70s, and the rest of us, we're going to get there this week. I'll let you know when that warm weather arrives, coming up in just a bit.
Sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. At noon tonight, the city of Spokane and the city council approved an ordinance that would limit when you can water your lawn during peak heat hours. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk joining us in the newsroom tonight to explain how the new rule works.
The ordinance itself has changed since it was first introduced. As things stand right now, violators would not be fined or charged with a misdemeanor. Beginning in June of 2023, if the Spokane River drops below 1,000 cubic feet per second, residents would only be allowed to water their lawns 2 days a week, and spraying off driveways and sidewalks would be prohibited. Between June and October, watering will not be allowed between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Council President Brian Begg says the ordinance is good for the river, the local aquifer, and will avoid costly infrastructure upgrades. Money Begg says the city just doesn't have.
And that means we, the ratepayers, will have to pay that. So this is an attempt to get ahead of that curve, not just to protect our river, but to save us all money in a system that works better and has enough water for fire suppression in the summer.
Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward sent council members a letter saying she does not support the ordinance, but does believe citizens should do more to conserve water. The mayor went on to say she thinks the ordinance is too complex and the Public Works Department doesn't have the resources to enforce it. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Noon tonight, health officials say they are investigating a presumptive case of the monkeypox virus in King County. The case was first reported yesterday. Our sister station in Seattle's Kaylee Greenberg has what we know so far.
Seattle and King County Public Health says it's asking people to be aware as it expects to see additional cases of monkeypox.
People should understand that this disease can affect anyone and that those who are most at risk are those who have had close physical contact with someone with monkeypox.
In the United States, there's currently one confirmed case. There are 4 others, including a man in King County who likely have the virus but are awaiting additional testing. So far, more than 100 cases have been reported in Europe. Dr. Jeff Duchin said for this virus, what's happening is abnormal.
This is a known virus that is now doing something a little bit unusual and causing this type of outbreak in multiple countries at the same time, and apparently significant amount of person-to-person transmission.
The CDC says monkeypox symptoms include a fever, headache, chills, and swollen lymph nodes. After 1 to 3 days, a person develops a rash. The primary way for the virus to spread is direct contact with someone with the monkeypox rash.
It happens to include a significant number of men who have sex with men, and they are presenting with lesions on the genitals that look like or are assumed to be sexually transmitted.
The illness can be uncomfortable, but Dr. Duchin says most people recover in 2 to 4 weeks. However, it can be serious for people immunocompromised, children, and pregnant women.
I would not be surprised to see additional cases of monkeypox. I don't think that poses anywhere near the threat that COVID-19 poses to us. I don't think we'll see the levels of transmission, I think it will ultimately be brought under control. But as we've learned with COVID-19, you can't always predict what's going to happen in the future. That's just my best guess.
That was Kaylee Greenberg reporting. Now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top story. Witness statements and high-quality security video help Spokane police identify and arrest a shooting suspect who police say is a known gang member. And KREM 2 has obtained an exclusive look at that video. Dwayne Delaney faces several charges, including attempted murder and assault. Spokane County court documents show a man matching Delaney's description shot at two women who were standing outside a North Spokane home last week. Here's that video. Neither of them were hurt. They told police they recognized the suspect as Delaney, and they claim they were targeted due to an ongoing gang conflict. Investigators say Delaney is a known gang member. He is now in custody at the Spokane County Jail on $250,000 bond. A 14-year-old Wenatchee girl drowned after being washed away in the Antioch River in Chelan County over the weekend. According to the sheriff's office there, deputies were called to the Lake Creek campground on Sunday for a water rescue. When they arrived, a 20-year-old man was found stranded on a rock in the middle of the river. A large rescue operation was sent out to find the missing girls. Hours later, a helicopter crew was able to find that missing girl in fast-moving water downstream, but she was pronounced dead at the scene.
I'm told that this shipment provides enough formula to take care of 9,000 babies and 18,000 toddlers for a week.
Meanwhile, the first shipment of emergency baby formula arrived in the U.S. from Europe this weekend. The military plane was filled with about 78,000 pounds of hypoallergenic formula. It's the first of several flights organized by the White House aiming to help with a nationwide formula shortage. The formula will be tested and distributed across the U.S. to hospitals and clinics this week. President Biden tweeted that a second shipment is expected to land in Pennsylvania in the coming days. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. Looking ahead to tomorrow, new downtown parking meters could go into effect. They come with a few updates the city of Spokane hopes will help ease the downtown parking process. KREM 2's Janelle Finch is here now with a quick preview of what you need to know.
The city of Spokane just finished phase 1 of installing these new parking meters downtown. These meters are designed to make parking easier and more convenient. With that in mind, you are now able to use coin, mobile payment, or credit or debit cards to pay for parking.
You know, I'm kind of old school, and it's like usually you put in, you know, dimes, quarters, nickels, and here you can actually use a credit card or a debit card. And I thought, wow, that's new school. We're definitely in the 21st century. I thought that was, you know, actually a good thing, you know.
This is the first time since the late 1990s the city is updating its parking system. Old meters allowed you to use coins or the Passport parking app to pay for parking. You are still able to use the Passport app on these meters, but you will now have the added option of using the Park mobile app. Over the next few years, these meters will soon become the downtown standard for on-street parking. In Spokane, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, don't go to bed just yet. After the break, we are recognizing Honor Flight this week as part of KREM 2's Salute to Service. Meanwhile, tomorrow on Up with KREM, the numbers are clear. There are simply not nearly enough affordable housing options in Spokane to keep up with the growing demand. And this isn't just a problem for renters, but it's also having an impact on our growing homeless crisis.
Being homeless outside is dangerous, and you have to keep people safe, and the shelters do that. But if that's all you do, then you're just going to have more and more people living in shelters.
Tomorrow on Up with KREM, we will continue to look at affordable housing and how it can be used to help get people out of shelters and into permanent housing. We are back in just 90 seconds.